What is, one thing you're going to do in practice after kind of completing this exercise during this program, during this session? What's one thing you're going to actually take away?
I think in the spirit of iteration, I'm going to go back with the team and start with why. So we're going to go around it all again, just to reset, make sure that we all know why we're here, what we're doing, and how we're going about it. I think it's a good thing, good exercise to go back to the start and do it again.
Great. Thanks, Robbie.
I liked what Jim Riley mentioned in our group, to actually do this exercise with our team and get their thoughts and ideas on what they felt was valuable in each segment. So that's something I certainly took away.
Yeah, I've definitely become conscious throughout this exercise again on maybe what is assumed versus what the team would take. So I would assume that the teams know what we're trying to solve for, but actually if I were to ask each of them these questions, I'm not confident that they will all come back with consistent answers, which is on us as leadership to make sure that we better define.
Starting a new team with new hires that are just coming on board now, I think making it clear to start with why and then in the who, and not assume that they're, from the conversations that we've had in the past, they know those two things. I tend to get into the details too quickly. So I think this is a good exercise to do with the team to get that shared understanding and shared buy-in.
I plan on reminding the team that, and myself included, that we're going to make mistakes on setting the wrong goals sometimes and being committed to the wrong things and implementing the wrong things. But we have the opportunity to iterate, and it's hard to get it right all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. And I know a number of you brought up that you would maybe try this out with your own teams. And I would suggest in the presentation there, on the building high performing teams page, we actually, L&D put together like a diagnostic tool that you can it's a survey that you can send to your teams, get them to fill it out anonymously to see where they're at against each stage. You as the manager can take that and use those results to facilitate really good discussions, some team alignment with your organization. And if you're interested as well, you could reach out to L&D, myself, in the learning development channel, or another person on the team. And if you want us to facilitate a session with your team in the future, I'm more than happy to do that as a result of your diagnostic tool results. So really cool stuff. Definitely recommend you taking advantage of it. Again, and this model as well, there's a whole consulting firm that runs all of these trainings and use cases on applying the model to your own team and your own organization. I'll put a link in the chat there. So if you're interested in further exploring this model, you can do that as well.
I've got one other suggestion that I encourage everybody to at least consider. So, Ryan led off today's session awesomely, right? With one of the questions he asked is, what's the commitment that we're going to make to pursuing excellence, right? We've got such a unique, awesome opportunity, and hey, let's seize that. So great examples that of you all talked about ways that individually, you want to take action based on some of the learnings from today's session, either yourself and or with your specific team, but also think about it from the context of, your department, in the notion of what commitment is your extended team, your department willing to make to this, and thinking through the lens of accountability partners, right? It's so easy that we get in the whirlwind of everything that happens, right, with our fast-paced culture and everything that it moves so quickly. So consider how your peers, your colleagues, can help you and you can help them in terms of, are you having some of these dialogues on a recurring basis and sharing best practices and asking how to overcome some of these things when you run into, trust issues or things like that. So think about how you can leverage your, peers and your colleagues to keep this top of mind.